Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone, and welcome to the final installment in my Wisdom Tree Bible Games event. I've saved not necessarily the best, but a very special one for last. I'm sure this wasn't a surprise to anyone, but for the last part of this year's event, I'm bringing it back to where it all began for me. Bible Adventures. Bible Adventures was the first title that was released after Color Dreams shut down and put all their eggs in the Wisdom Tree basket in 1991. Unlike the majority of the titles previously covered this month, Bible Adventures isn't derived from a pre-existing release. The gameplay experience is broken down into 3 modes: Noah's Ark, Baby Moses, and David and Goliath. Obviously, the player can start with whichever mode they want, but I figured I would tackle them in the order that I played them in when I was capturing footage. First up is David and Goliath. In David and Goliath, you play as David, whose purpose is to collect 4 sheep and bring them to the corral. For the non-Bible savvy like myself, this info is stated on the intro screen alongside a relevant verse involving the character from the story. This is a feature that all 3 modes have in common, with the Bible passage changing to be pertinent to each new set of characters. So if you wanted to learn more about the Bible, then this is perfect for you, because this cart's 8 bits are chock full of religiosity. Another aspect that is shared in common between the stories is the overall control scheme and setup. It basically boils down to picking up various objects and bringing them to an endpoint. In David and Goliath, as with the other modes, picking up the sheep is performed by pressing B, but be careful, since doing so will make him vulnerable to the advances of the hostile lions and rams. David, as well as the characters in the other modes, can carry up to 4 animals at one time, so it's possible to cross the finish line with all of the sheep in tow. However, if you can't find one, or the ram is being a total D, then you can bring the number that you currently have to the corral. If this happens, a text box will pop up that reminds the player that not all the sheep are present and accounted for. No need to worry though, just take another look around the area in order to find the rest of the flock. The levels in Bible Adventures are multiple stories high, and the sheep can sometimes be found at the higher elevation points. David and the rest of the characters are undeterred by this, and pressing up in front of trees will make the characters climb, and holding B while pressing up will make them ascend up the tree at supersonic speeds. Even more impressive, they can perform this Olympian-esque feat while carrying animals over their head! Awesome! There are 5 levels in David and Goliath, and most of them are in this exact style. Collect the sheep and bring them to the corral. If the rams and lions get in your way, just toss an acorn or basket at them by pressing B, and that will put them out of commission for a little bit. It's nothing too hard, but if David's health is starting to get low, just collect a few of the stone tablets littered around the stage. These will contain other Bible quotes and helpful hints, but some of them will have the added benefit of increasing the health meter. The 5th and final level takes a different direction and is the hardest of the bunch. This is where the showdown with Goliath takes place, but in order to get there, David has to climb up the mountain while avoiding the falling rocks and taking out the spear-wielding Philistines. This section is tough. Really tough. Especially when there are scorpions perched on some of the ledges that will send the sheep herder turned warrior dropping to the lower rungs of the mountain. This was aggravating beyond belief, and I feared for the remaining hairs on my head. If it wasn't for this part, I could have had David and Goliath beaten in less than 20 minutes, but the hour and 12-minute length of my capture session attests to the difficulty of this stage. Fortunately, we do have some extra help in finishing this perilous journey, as David gets equipped with a bag of stones to take these Philistines down a peg or 2. Once a certain spot is reached, it appears that there's nowhere left to go. There are no more ledges to go up, and no way to enter the cave in front of us. As it turns out, there's another section to the left, but it's accessed by taking a leap of faith and hoping that you land on the correct ledge. A leap of faith in a Bible game, huh? How fitting. Anyway, heading up to the top of the section and doing a running jump to the right will lead to Goliath's shield bearer. He's not all that difficult, but try not to get hit by him. All it takes is one hit when you're standing in the wrong spot, and it's back down to the bottom we go. Make sure to hit him where he can easily be jumped over when he starts lunging towards our hero. After he's vanquished, Goliath will stroll out in all his glory. Much like the tick, Goliath is nigh invulnerable. and he'll laugh off all of our attacks. Unless, like in the Bible, he's hit in the right spot. Hit him smack dab in the head and it's lights out for Goliath with one hit. Our reward for doing so is another Bible passage. Hooray! Next mode. Baby Moses is more of the same really, with the only difference being that instead of carrying sheep to the exit, we're hauling Baby Moses above our head. Baby Moses is without a doubt the easiest of the three modes. Baby Moses can be considered to be a prequel to Exodus' journey to the Promised Land, since the sister of Moses is the protagonist, and she's trying to get him to safety from the Pharaoh and his men. Miriam has to carry him past spiders and spear pushers, all while avoiding the gaps in the pavement revealing the River of Death. The core mechanics, though, are exactly the same as David and Goliath. Pick up Baby Moses by pressing B, press up to climb, hold B to make her run and climb faster, etc. The only real tricky spots are the ladder sections with guards up above. If they collide with Miriam during her ascent, then she'll take an involuntary dive into the drink below. Another major hurdle is the moving gaps in the pavement in the later levels. One misstep will result in an easy solution to the Pharaoh's loose end. The Baby Moses element can be a pain. Every time Miriam gets jostled, she drops the baby, and he can end up in places that we don't want him to be, like the river. If that happens, she might as well take a dip herself, since the levels can't be completed unless she has Baby Moses in tow. Of course, the exit can still be crossed without Baby Moses on board, but another text box will pop up that congratulates us for making it past the guards, but scolds us for forgetting Baby Moses. Hey, mister, it wasn't my fault that the Pharaoh's men got all up in my grill. You can blame them for what happened to the brat. I'm innocent, I tell ya. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, and I really don't have much to say about it. I blazed past this section in 15 minutes, and that was with me messing around and tossing Baby Moses into the river, because, well, you pretty much have to do it at least once. It's fun. Give it a whirl. Anyway, make it past the Pharaoh's men with Baby Moses intact for all 6 levels and you beat the game! There's a small scene after of Baby Moses with the goofiest smile on his face floating down the river, finally safe from harm. Well, mostly. Now we're up to the main attraction, Noah's Ark. Whoops, wrong Noah's Ark. That's a pretty darn good game though. Perhaps I should make some kind of video about it. Possibly next year around the same time. Foreshadowing. Foreshadow. Bible Games 2015. Foreshadow. As for the Noah's Ark on this cartridge, it's another example of picking up objects and carrying them from point A to point B. In this case, point B is the titular ark, and the objects are the various animals, one of each sex, that have to be boarded in advance of the big storm that is brewing on the horizon. Again, the playstyle is exactly the same as the previous 2 modes, except when we bring the animals to the ark, an interior scene plays with Noah taking tally of the animals he's collected. The aforementioned animals are monitored via a checklist, which is accessed by hitting select. If the player is confused at any point as to which are necessary and which are cannon fodder, just hit that select button and get the 411. This is technically the shortest mode of the cart since there are only 4 levels, but I found it to be the most time consuming. The animals aren't always in plain sight, especially when it progresses towards the end, and this really extends the duration of a play session. From the beginning to the end, Noah's main purpose never changes, but later stages toss a few curveballs into the mix. With that many animals confined in one place, they're gonna need food for the long journey, and that's exactly what level 3 involves. Noah has to collect essential food items such as coconuts, wheat, bananas, grapes, and cows? Well, I guess that makes sense. I don't think the king of the jungle's gonna be satisfied with a bale of hay. Leo needs to sink his teeth into something meaty to satisfy that hunger.
Oh, hi, livestock. Come in, welcome. Rest your hooves, take it easy, 'cause the meal's coming soon, and you're the guest of honor. The lions, they need you inside of their stomach. Ha ha ha. Oh, Tommy Wiseau kills himself. Well, at the end of the room and here, yeah.
The levels prior to that, however, are very simple. Find an animal, pick it up, and bring it to the Ark. Repeat from step 1 until every box on the list is checked off. Most of the animals, like the turtles, raccoons, and panthers, can be easily picked up. Some, like the oxen and cows, can also be picked up with ease, but their added weight makes hefting them into the Ark a bit of a struggle. In spite of their weight, the birds of the later levels can also be a hassle to pick up since they keep flying away from Noah. Those bastards! Then there's the category of animals that needs a little extra coaxing, like the pandas and pigs, and this is where our friend the wicker basket comes in handy. When we encounter a stubborn animal that won't let us pick it up, just toss the basket at it to knock it out cold, and then drag its unconscious body into the Ark whether it wants to go or not. Noah! Enemy to PETA since before they even existed. Another complication is that there are animals whose sole purpose is to be a nuisance to our hero. Level 2, for example, involves collecting a variety of birds, such as eagles and toucans. Amidst the birds that we're trying to capture are avian fiends who swoop down, grab Noah, and lift him to a higher elevation point. These foul can't be knocked out or picked up. As far as I know, there's absolutely nothing to do about them except try to avoid them. Making it past the nuisance birds and collecting the rest of the animals leads to the final stage. Again, the purpose is to simply collect a bunch of animals, but there's the added variable of it taking place in the evening during a thunderstorm. This does make it a bit harder, but once I picked up the firefly, it became no more difficult than the previous 3 stages. Once all of the remaining animals are brought to the Ark, it's time for Noah's fateful journey. A cutscene of the Ark making his way through the rough seas is shown. The raging waters recede, and the vessel finishes its journey safely as the rest of humanity is blinked out of existence by the flood. That's the end of the Noah's Ark story and of Bible adventures, so let's go to the breakdown analysis to reach the final verdict.
Not this time. Breakdown won't be necessary for this one. Bible Adventures is a game that's very special to me. It's not great, far from it, but my memories of this blue cart from childhood led me to watching the AVGN for the first time back in 2007. By association, it was also responsible for rekindling my love affair with these games of my youth, and as a result, it played a part in my decision to start doing reviews on YouTube. So, Bible Adventures changed my life forever, and I'll always be appreciative of it for that reason alone. So, call me biased if you want, but my verdict, for that reason alone, is that Bible Adventures is 100% innocent. Now don't get me wrong, Bible Adventures has many problems, not the least of which being the slippery jumping mechanics. However, it also has a lot of assets. The concept is simple, yet a lot of fun. The visuals are very nice for an unlicensed game, especially by Wisdom Tree and Color Dream standards. Plus, I love when little glitches like this happen every now and then. What a nutty squirrel. As should be clear as day, I have a lot of sentimental fondness for Bible Adventures, and for that reason, along with the fact that it can be picked up on the cheap, it gets my highest recommendation of all of the titles featured this month. With the final verdict given, my Wisdom Tree event comes to a close, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays one last time. So, until IUPG returns sometime in the new year, court is now adjourned.
As always, everyone, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and have a great New Year, and you'll see me very soon into the new year. I've already got ideas planned for the new year, big ideas, so
look forward to that. I'll be back very soon and very quickly in January, so you can look forward to that. But until then, you can watch some of these older videos here, and not so old videos. So in the upper left is actually my most popular video, my first Power Rangers games review. It was like the fourth video I ever made, fourth or fifth video I ever made, and it's my most popular video, which I can understand. And it's a good video, but it's like, yeah, it's getting pretty close to 50,000 views, which is, mind-blowing to me that I have a video with that many views. But yeah, it's a good video. If you like classic series Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, then you'll dig that, because I cover the Super Nintendo game, both the Genesis games, the original Game Boy game, etc. It's a multi-game review. It's pretty cool. You should check it out if you like Power Rangers. You'll most likely enjoy this video if you like Power Rangers. Now, in the upper right-hand corner, I put the link for the playlist for my Wisdom Tree Bible Games event. So if you've seen this and if you want to go back and watch the rest, well, you can just click that box right there in the upper right and you'll be brought to it. Now, in the bottom left-hand corner is something a little different. Now, I was recently nominated for YouTuber of the Month by Michael B. the Game Genie. And that's the video right there about that. That's found on the 16-Bit Brothers page. So if you want to vote for me, I know I'm cutting it close. It's almost January. But if you want to vote for me for that to win YouTuber of the Month, well, just watch that video and leave a comment on the comments section for that video and say that you want to vote for me. But yeah, if you don't want to, that's fine. I'm not going to pressure you because, hey, it's all good. I'm up against some cool peeps, so whoever wins is it's a good choice because they're all awesome. So yeah, just wanted to put that there in case any of you do want to vote for me. But as always, for anyone who's new to the channel, if this is your first video of watching mine, well, you can click that red box on the bottom right there with Jake and Pong from Totally Rad on top of it. Click that and you'll be subscribed to the channel and you can keep up to date on all my current content. So once again, Merry Christmas everybody, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year, and I will see you very soon into the new year. So until then, see you later everyone.